Yeah. Guys, happy Monday. Don't call it a comeback. This is the first one back. Thank you for just saying that 2 seconds ago. This is the first pod back in Jersey. Super excited to be back, Meg. Super excited to be back.
Too.
Happy Monday.
You're glowing.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So, all right. So I want to dive in real quick. So happy Monday, everybody. Again, if it's the first time you're tuning in, the point of this is to put out the trends that are firing right now in the market that you have to apply to your business today. Don't wait. Again, once you hear it, typically after this, like we're bringing it to you while it's still like, you can make some moves on it. So the later that you wait, the longer you take, and then you're not going to be, your competition is going to be kicking your ass. So anyway, so with that said, happy Monday. Meg, what do you got for us? What's the first trend we're going to dive into here?
The first one is according to LinkedIn. So for LinkedIn, if you are currently looking for talent on LinkedIn and maybe you're not getting the hits that you're looking for, what it could come down to is that you don't have any verifications for your business on LinkedIn. So what they are doing...
Are you even verified?
Are you even verified?
You even verified, bro?
I feel like you have to be verified on every platform now.
I
right?
know.
Instagram,
it's
Twitter,
wild.
now they're doing the same thing for LinkedIn, but they're claiming that it's for safety measures. So for any candidates who are looking for jobs, like how am I sure that the company that I'm applying to and I'm going to show up for an interview for is the actual company, right? So I didn't think that you would have to worry about that on LinkedIn. Apparently it is of concern because they are adding this verification for job listings, which is essentially using these ID methods. So it'll provide additional confirmation that they say they are who they say that they are, and that the position with the company is a legitimate, open, and available position. So I guess what was happening is candidates were applying for positions that they later found out were not real positions.
Wow.
So if you aren't getting
It's 2023. Talent, how is that still happening? Right? How is that still happening?
I don't know.
That's like when people say like they got catfished. I'm like, it's 2023. How can you still get catfished in 2023?
Yeah, did you do your research?
Like,
I don't know.
Come on. Anyway.
Anyway, get verified on LinkedIn. If you aren't getting top talent, make sure that you have your verification on there in as much detail as possible.
I like it. And even, you know what? This is the thing. Also, Google, not just, but like Google does, you can get verified for your Google domain now. Right? Like I'm seeing emails come through that now, like you're getting the blue check on the email, and which I like how that looks. It does look nice. But it's like $1,500 a year to do it, right? And at this point, it's like
expensive.
How many people, like how many companies are you going to pay to keep getting verified? Like, you know what I mean?
And think about
like
how
Twitter,
much
Instagram, like it's like
the Twitter, like the bigger verification on Twitter. There's affordable options coming out, but it's like $1,000 a month to have the gold check mark. So, you're going to be spending a few thousand in verification.
Wow. So anyway, but there's a lot that's happening there. What else we got?
All right. This is very, very recent news, but more than 2,000 families are suing social media platforms, specifically Meta. And this is because they're claiming that the app is contributing to mental health issues of their children, claiming that it is, increasing depression in children or eating disorders, things of that sort. So, those are a lot of lawsuits that are taking place right now. But from a business perspective, what is that going to do to social media platforms moving forward? And there might be tighter restrictions regarding how you can create a profile and engage with certain accounts because all of this is happening right now. So that could affect engagement. It could affect current followings if you are catered to younger demographics. So it's something to be mindful of moving forward. And it's interesting.
Well, I'll be honest. I gotta, like, when it comes to that, like especially being a parent now, it's like I would never blame a social media company for that if I'm not the person creating the guidelines for my child on the platform. Right? Ultimately, again, like we shared like last week or the week before that, like TikTok right now, like a lot of New York Times did like a test where they went in and they made themselves as like a young girl, young boy, and everything you just said they were seeing. Right. It's like mental health issues, people with suicide, depression, all this other stuff. But, at the end of the day, as a parent, that's up to you to make sure you know what the hell your kid is looking at, what they're seeing, right? And all that other stuff. So there should be your own parental restrictions. So again, like, if you feel like your kid, like, why are you suing Meta when you should just be like, you're not using it anymore?
Yeah, and I think it's a conversation happening,
which is tough.
Those topics too, right? Like we're on information overload. Think about,
totally.
I mean, I recognized this last week, even just going through Reels, and in 15 minutes, I don't know how many videos I saw, but it was a lot.
Yeah.
I took in a lot of information.
Yeah.
So you can imagine how how much information children are seeing on these apps, but then are you talking about it later on, or there's not even conversation?
It just kind of goes.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of freaky, but I think at the end of the day, it's like that can affect people who are marketing to the younger demographics.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Like Meta, I'm sure something's going to come out of this with Meta having to be like more strict. If like you're a younger profile, they should have things like kids profiles and things like that, so you can always see certain things. Like, you know, at the end of the day, like like I only want Johnny seeing Elmo.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's
like,
all.
YouTube, they have like kids' YouTube accounts, right?
Right. YouTube for kids, right? And they should do it for
Instagram,
social media.
Facebook. Yeah. I agree. Agree.
For my New York clients, I always go social media.
Social media.
For the social media.
Yeah.
But so anyway, so that's interesting. So yeah, definitely keep that on the top of your brain just in case if you're marketing, you have a children's or a child or younger demographic product. Could be something in the pipeline.
And you might have to change your content strategy, right? Because if you're catering to a younger demographic and you need to start catering to an older demographic, like we always say, if you are marketing to kids, you also need to be marketing to their parents who have the purchasing power. So what content strategy would, pull in an older audience?
100%. I just want to, again, I'm going to beat the fucking, the what's it called when you hit the big bell, a gong?
A gong.
I'm beating the gong again, the YouTube Shorts gong. Literally, I'm telling you right now, YouTube Shorts is absolutely on effing fire.
It is.
It is so insane how much reach videos are getting on YouTube Shorts right now. So again, if you're a content creator, if you're creating content, you need to be doing so and putting up short form content because right now it's winning. You're getting more views, you're getting more people on it. It's driving traffic. And a lot of it's crazy. Like when we started to test it, like literally like on YouTube, we would always typically have people who know us seeing it.
Right.
Where now, like you have all these new people, thousands and thousands of new people seeing your stuff based on the relevancy, based on the tags and stuff, but like that you can now have eyeballs in front of. So definitely something that's important if you are a content creator, if you are not a content creator. And what I mean by that is you can be a real estate agent and be a content creator. You can be a doctor and be a content creator. You can be a makeup artist and be a content creator. So at the end of the day, when you're creating the content, those shorts are what win. And the one thing I want to bring up, actually, that was brought up at a barbecue that I had was the millennial pause. And a lot of times what people are saying is, well, if you're somebody who, when you speak, which I would normally do when I'm speaking like in audiences or if I'm at like some sort of like speaking engagement, like it's like when you're talking, but you pause to make like a decisive pause where it's like you're like thinking, right? So like you're talking and you're not just like speeding and rambling, like you're taking your time. They're calling it the millennial pause, where essentially like when you pause in between what you're saying and thinking, a lot of times people will just click off because you're taking too long.
Interesting.
So one of the things that I want to talk about, speaking of short form and YouTube Shorts and stuff, is when you're doing that, make sure that the first few seconds of your video have to be the sexy, appealing, most important part of it that's going to hook people in, because it's the hook there. And then when you get to that point, that whole millennial pause thing that we're talking about here, and it could even be probably Gen Z pause too, you have to like keep going. You have to make it attractive. You have to make it like worth watching. And I think that's the biggest thing, because you said, like you said earlier, at Adapting Social, I always say to my team, like, we're at a war for attention right now. So I don't care what industry you're in, like everybody and their mother can go make a Facebook ad or go make their own Facebook and start posting stuff. So it's very disruptive. Everybody can do it. The integrity of good marketing has gone down because of it, which then has tainted the pool of marketing, because now when somebody sees an ad or whatever, they're interacting with an ad that somebody made that doesn't know how to make ads. So it's like everybody's just seeing this BS stuff that ultimately, right, if you're going to get through all that fluff and get through all the bullshit, you have to create good content that people want to see. So again, YouTube Shorts, short content like Reels and TikToks and stuff, that's the content right now that's winning and doing very, very well. But again, make sure your content is very like to the point. And it's like the era of removing fluff. People don't care about the backstory. I remember like when we used to do the vlogs for Adapting Social each week, like we had like an introduction that was like 15 seconds long.
Right.
Now videos are 15 seconds long,
yeah.
Right? So at the end of the day, it's like you have to keep adjusting and adapting. All pun intended, by the way. Adapting to the mother effing times, people. So at the end of the day, if you're creating content, then go to Shorts. If you're not creating content and you're a business owner, you should start.
You should start. Speaking of Shorts and video content and the way that you should structure it, there was a study.
Don't call Rob short.
You're not short, Rob. There was a study done on LinkedIn, the key to advertising on LinkedIn, where they were saying that there was a 460% lift for ads where the talent appeared after the first 3 seconds compared to those where they appeared within the first 3 seconds. So using your reference, in those first 3 seconds, you want your hook. You want your hook, and either that's written out or maybe it's showcasing something, and then your talent appears after the first 3 seconds, because what that's doing is the audience has to watch now for longer than 3 seconds. And the longer they watch, the more they're going to remember the face or the brand.
I got to tell you that whole strategy works for me so fucking well. Like I was watching one literally this morning where I was on TikTok, and the guy's like, I'm going to paint my whole house black. And I was like, wow. And I waited like the whole 30 seconds, and he just fucking painted his gutters black. I was so disappointed and pissed. I was like, I waited 30 seconds of my life, and the whole house is not even black. But to your point, I waited. I was like, I got to see this. And I don't know if this is a thing, but when I updated Facebook recently, like I can't like scrub forward for certain videos now.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if that's a thing now, but like literally, like I was trying to like get to the end where it, like the fucking thing was black and it wouldn't let me.
You have to watch the whole thing.
You have to watch the whole video.
For certain videos, yeah, that's how they get you. But you watched it all, and because you watched it all, that helped whoever that pages was engagement rate, which then helps them in the algorithm.
In this in this room, including Rob right there, who do you guys think has the most social media watch time in this room?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. Probably me.
We're taking out the phones. We're gonna do a comparison.
I don't know.
We have to do a little. We have to literally go to usage and look.
Are we doing it live?
Yeah, let's do live. Hold on, give me my phone. Let's see this damn thing. Are we still live on this or no?
Yeah.
All right, we're going usage here. Megan's pulling up her usage here.
How do you go through settings?
Behind the scenes.
Screen time.
Let's see.
I'm nervous.
Let's see.
For last week. Are we doing a week?
Yeah, no. Let's do last week.
Is it screen time?
Yeah, screen time.
Okay, mine's updating.
Right now, we're seeing who has the most screen time right now on our phones. We're doing a live here.
Okay, mine's actually not that bad.
All right, let's see. I have a strange feeling Rob's going to dominate us.
Well, mine wasn't on.
Oh, you had it off? Can you have it off?
Well,
How do you go to it? If you're tuning in, guys, we're seeing in the studio right now who has the most screen time.
Go to
Screen time.
See all activity.
So TikTok, my first one. So what's yours?
Mine's Instagram's the top, and it's 54 minutes.
Oh, so you got me beat. Let's go.
33 minutes.
So
and
what
Rob
was
doesn't
Rob's?
have.
I don't know.
My guy's probably got 20 hours.
I hope Rob's
He's
is
always
more
on the
than mine
phone.
right now. Screen time. Oh yeah, yours.
Let's see all activity.
Yeah. Rob
Bro, he had it
wiped his
disabled.
phone.
He just cleared it.
Rob wiped
this
his
freaking
phone.
guy just cleared the whole thing. I love it.
I'm gonna say though, as the CMO of Adapting Social, I'm on social media a lot.
Well, you have to be right. So
it's for work.
It's for work, right? Right. But anyway, so yes, if you're just tuning in again, welcome to Monday Trends. We're here live. So, what else do you have for us?
The last thing that I have is that Instagram shared a new explainer on how its algorithms work, which isn't too different from what we knew, but there's 4 primary factors. The first being
hit us with it.
Your activity. So this is any post that you've liked, shared, saved, or commented on. So it's understanding the topic of that particular video, and it's claiming like, hey, you're interested in this topic, so I'm going to keep sharing this type of content to you. Information about the post. So this could be how popular the post is, the number of likes, comments, shares, or saves that it has. Obviously, the more engagement that your content gets, the more the app is going to recommend it to other viewers, like your audience. You have a comment on that?
I'm just thinking like we just did this whole so if you're tuning in right now, we just did this whole thing where we're looking at who had the most time in their screen time on the phone. But honestly, you could tell a lot about somebody based on their Explore page. I was just literally thinking that.
You want to pull up your Explore page?
Yeah. Well, no, mine is strictly literally it's all business stuff, and then it's like random shit like cars, Tesla, but like I feel like yours fishing.
Fishing conspiracies.
The Earth is flat. What is yours?
Mine is a lot of positivity and
right. Megan's is not positive.
No, it is. It's a lot of positivity and like mental health, and then
Ditto.
a lot of like marketing examples and like trends and.
We're swapping. We're all swapping after this. We'll see.
Oh boy.
Just kidding. But we'll continue. Sorry.
Okay. Next up is information about the person who posted. So. How many people are interacting with the person that posted. As an example, if Rob posts and there's nobody liking his post historically, then they're probably not going to recommend his account. If John posts and a ton of people are liking his post, they're going to recommend your account to everybody.
Right. This is better. Yeah.
Yeah.
They look at it as better content. We have to always keep in mind though, too, guys, when you're creating content. So like we were just sharing, obviously, Instagram released just a new explainer on how their algorithm works. Top 4, 1, your activity, 2, information about the post, 3, information about the person who posted it, and lastly, your history of interacting with someone. But the biggest thing you have to remember, people are not on social media to be sold anything, right? People are on social media to literally pass time by.
And be
right?
entertained.
Right.
It's become like the new TV form.
100%.
Yeah.
Like I'm surprised YouTube actually wasn't higher than TikTok. I'm actually a little pissed at myself right now. But the thing is like, realistically, people are on because they want to enjoy themselves, be entertained, whatever else. Mm-hmm. But when you think about that, when you're creating content and you put that out there and put that in your mindset, like, hey, people don't want to see me just talk about selling homes or doing the things I do all the time, just from like the business perspective all the time. They want the behind the scenes. They want the people. That's why like when you see people do really, really well, right? Like I'll use again, like a Sal Ventry example. Like Sal does something very well where he goes, you see like his family, he's always posting with his son, his wife, out to dinner at restaurants, at certain businesses. And like, that's a great model, especially when you're running it as a business, to do both, because people don't want to just see listing, or like if you're a dentist, like patient. They want to see behind the scenes. They want to see what's going on in your life. So keep that in mind when you're creating content, because it's not just about trying to sell your damn product.
No, it's about being relatable. So make sure that whatever you're posting, others can relate to as well. And that's it. Those are all the trends.
Those are the trends. Mm-hmm. So guys, happy Monday. So I'm gonna hit us with a quick Motivation Monday ender of the trends. This one's inspired by Megan, and it's live, laugh, love. I know nobody's heard that before. No.
What a journey.
No, but we were talking earlier today. I've heard these things, and there's so many cliche sayings out there now. But one of the things that I heard, which is a little bit of a combination between a book I'm reading called "What Got You Here Will Not Get You There," and then also just this random thing I saw on Explore page, which I really liked, and it talks about how often we are constantly like, if your phone comes out with a new update, right? Typically, you plug it in and you update it so that you have the newest software in your phone, right? Or if iPhone sends out a new iOS, right? Like the new ones, like it just came out recently because the new phones are going to be coming out in September. Like everybody's jumping all over. Oh, I want the new iOS, right? And what's the purpose of that, right? It's because the environment's changing, things are changing in technology. So it literally these updates are helping the tech work better in your phone and adapt to what's changing in the world, right? And a lot of times, right, when it comes to us as people, we never update that system, right? So we typically do the same things we've always done, right? So if you're somebody who I'm not a morning person, you never become a morning person because you're like, I'm just not a morning person. But eventually in your career, if you're doing bigger things, it's probably better that you're up earlier, right? You get more stuff done in the day, start your own day, do your own personal things before the day starts. So it's like updating that software for yourself. That starts with your mindset, that starts with the things you do, it starts with your diet, that starts with your interactions, your hobbies, the things you do to have fun. And ultimately, right, it's just changing perspective and putting different action into play. And the culmination between that, what I saw the video on Instagram versus this book I'm reading, is that typically in our lives, different things require us to become different people, right? A lot of times it's definitely very career focused, but also in your relationships, right? You'll see people that are at like marriage counseling and be like, this isn't working anymore, right? Like this isn't happening. I don't know what's going on here, whatever. And like the counselor's like, well, when's the last time, you guys went on a date? And they're like, well, and it's like, well, of course, like, in the beginning, maybe that wasn't essential or whatever, but like, as you get older, things need to change and you need to evolve and you need to change. So my challenge for everybody listening in right now is, again, we're so focused on getting the new car, getting the new software for the phone, or getting the new phones. What about your own thinking? What about your own lifestyle? What about your own things? When are you going to update your own system? And that's why I remember when I was younger, and I remember I used to see people driving Ferraris or doing big things when I was super young, and I'd be like, damn, the person's so lucky or whatever. But realistically, that takes a lot of effort to get to be a person who's going to be somebody who's up way earlier than you, work way harder than you, put way more time into their family than you will, put way more time into their health than you will. And so the point though is stop with the BS excuses that you don't have time or, I don't know how to build that relationship. Just go do it, right? And I think my challenge in theory would be like to write down your habits daily, right? And that's what I did when I would say, actually, I typically do this every year, but that's what I did when I first started to do this in my career, probably like 8 years ago. And I'd write down every year what my rituals were and what were my bad habits and what do I want to remove, what do I want to change, and that's going to help me become a better version of myself, right? Because at the end of the day, that's the only thing we can do. So it's Monday. My goal is to kick this week off strong with you guys. I hope you take this seriously because it's your life and these trends, it's your business, right? So apply these things where you see them applicable. And if you know a business owner or if you are a business owner that knows other business owners, tag them in this. We want to help as many people in the business community get these trends that are popping out, right? To them as soon as we can so that they get them before their competition does and you get them before your competition does. But guys, happy Monday. Megan, thank you for being here. I'm glad to be back in the studio in good old Jersey. And guys, happy Monday. I hope you crush